I cursed the moment my grandfather discovered the remote. This little Buvat, he is one of the most venomous snakes in all of Tanzania. One bite, and you'll be writhing in agony for hours. The hills are alive with the sound of music. We're looking at a major cold front that might, if it collides with this high-pressure system from Canada, drop some significant precipitation in our area tonight and tomorrow. Don't move! Put your hands against the wall! Stay where you are, so homie, I'll shoot!
Now, you're never going to believe the secret ingredient I put in with myself to give it the teensiest big that everybody loves. I learned it from my Sicilian grandmother, believe it or not. Lovely woman.
Diarrhea used to keep me at home until I discovered gentle and delicious no flow in liquids or tablets, because really, who wants to be tied to the toilet?
Okay, remember that burn. Big time with this next series now. Go with me. Drop down to lower intense if you have to, but don't quit. Ready? And 1, 2, 3, and 4.
No more than 10 seconds per channel, I swear. And I had to live with it for a week. Believe me, it got to me in very strange ways. Cable television. The power of this small box of media broadcasting is simply unmatched. From commercials to teenage fashion trends, the TV has been responsible for shaping our society for decades. In Remotely Related by Alan Hannell, we see how this power applies to all generations, young and old. When a young teenager is forced to spend the week with her grandparents, we see how they are remotely related by Alan Hannell. The funny thing is, my grandparents don't even own a television with a remote. No, at their house, they own this ancient TV that takes 18 men and a horse to move. The picture barely comes in. Half the time, it's either rolling up or down or side to side. It can't even hook up to cable. It's so old. On a clear night, if the Big Dipper's aligned properly, and one of the rabbit ears is pointed directly due north, and the other 18 degrees west of being aligned with Albuquerque, you can get 2 channels, semi-clearly. Otherwise, forget it. And you have to get up, out of your chair, every time you want to adjust the thing, which is all the time. Everybody in my family has told my grandparents to get a new TV. But Grampy always says, "Today I get so lazy that I can't get up or out of my chair to change the channel. It's a day you might as well lay me in my grave. There is nothing wrong with this television. You can take your remote control widgets and throw them out the window." He always yells like that because he's practically deaf. Grammy, on the other hand, is equally as deaf. "Grammy, you forgot to put your hearing aids back in." "What? You forgot to put the bear back in the cage again?" The trouble began when my grandparents came to stay with me while my parents went away on a week-long vacation to Hawaii. Now, I'm not bitter about them going to Hawaii. They deserve a vacation. I can understand that on a tight budget, they really couldn't afford to bring me along. I didn't even have a problem with Grammy and Grampy coming to stay with me for the week. We get along okay, though I usually end up with a sore throat for having to yell so much just to be heard. "Grammy, do we have any cereal?" "Cereal? Who that now?" I don't think Grampy had time to do much more than go to the bathroom before he state claimed to his territory. Our living room, the big recliner, right in front of the television, remote control glued to his hand. The volume on maximum, of course! I believe that our television could be heard from over an area of 27 square miles. He slept with the thing. I'm not exaggerating. I was trying to get some rest so I could be at least semi-intelligent for school, but all I could hear was the television flicking from station to station. Grampy fell asleep with his finger pressed against the channel changer. Grammy didn't notice. She, with her blissful deafness, had fallen asleep hours before. I clamped the pillow to my head. No good. I turned on my stereo. But in order to get it loud enough to drown out the sound of the television, the decibel level had to be equivalent to someone running a jackhammer 2 feet from my head. Whatever I did, I couldn't avoid the awful switching. Supplies are limited. Winds from the south, my love for you, the ferocious rhino, soothing the itch. Comments allez-vous, how far away were you? Ready, and stretch those hamstrings. To be or not to be? That is the question. I couldn't stand it. Now, I don't like to be inhospitable. I don't like to be ungrateful. But I also didn't want to die from sleep deprivation. So I snuck down to the living room, and since I couldn't get the remote out of Grampy's hand, I unplugged the television. Grampy woke up immediately. Hey, I was watching that. Grampy, you were asleep. Besides, you just kept switching the channels. You weren't really watching anything. Grampy's response just about made me faint. I was too watching. I was about to learn how to get the amazing 12-in-1 Swiss Army knife. There's a tropical storm brewing down in the Bermuda. Karen was finally confessing her love for Johnny, even though he loves Beryl. You can soothe yourself hemorrhoids with a new baking soda baked paste. I was about to learn how to get the amazing 12-in-1 Swiss Army knife again. The rhino they're trying to capture is the last one in the Serengeti Reserve. Hamlet was about to have a sword fight with Ophelia's brother, so plug that television back in and get out of my way. I was too watching. I plugged the television back in and left the room, completely flabbergasted. My mother had often told me that my Grampy was an amazing man. But up until that point, I had no idea. Grampy's yelling even managed to wake Grammy up. Would you two stop all that ruckus? I'm trying to sleep. Unfortunately, my Grampy's amazing powers of concentration and retention obviously did not pass down to me. After several days of next to no sleep and a constant barrage of television bits, I was not doing well. I felt as if my life was on television, and Grampy had his finger on the channel changer. Chemistry channel. The heaviest elements on the periodic table, of course, are grouped. Band channel. Yeah, da 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 da. Boyfriend channel. What do you mean you're not going to the game with me? Girlfriend channel. Are you even listening? I told you he was a jerk. Now, it's nothing new to have these various things going on in your life. But I found that I wasn't able to focus on any of them at the right time. In band, I told my director that I couldn't play because I left my argon at home. On the chemistry test, I wrote about nouns. And on the English test, I wrote about neutrons. And on my driver's test, I tried to beat out a John Philip Sousa march. On the brake pedal, people were becoming very angry with me, and I couldn't blame them. What's worse, I was becoming used to those flashing lights coming from the living room. Not just used to them, dependent on them. That Wednesday, when I came home from school, all I wanted to do was plop down on the floor next to Grampy and let myself be taken away by the hypnotic rhythm of switching television channels. That afternoon, and evening, and night passed by in a blur. From that Wednesday on through Sunday night when my parents came home, my life was those switching television channels. Yes, my body went to school, but my soul belonged to the machine. Grampy and I were remote-controlled zombies. Our master was abruptly silenced. I remember the time exactly. It happened to be in the corner of the screen we had just switched to. 9:17 and 32 seconds. The television went blank. Dad was home. Grampy said, "Hey, I was wrong. Oh, Pete, you're home. How was your trip?" You see, Grampy, with that amazing mind of his, was able to snap out of it immediately. I, however, was not so fortunate. After I was deprogrammed for 3 hellish days in my room with no television, I began the repair process. I had some very strange conversations with people the next few days, starting with phrases like, "I'm sorry I called you a lump of culpable cat litter, Miss Jenny," and, "Rick, I know we've been going out for 6 months, so please understand that I did not mean to try and chop up your pinky for my Spanish rice recipe." At last, a month after that fateful week, I think I've recovered. I think I've repaired the damage. And only rarely do I blink my eyes and see a crocodile hunter transposed across the weather map with a smear of toothpaste running through it. I think I'm okay. Only trouble is, my parents loved Hawaii so much that they're saving for another trip. And Grammy, this is hard for me to say, but Grammy